Good morning to all of our EYT family, friends, and fans. A warm welcome as you are watching the 2025 Leave Your Mark H5G Open, presented by Elite Stream, courtesy of Bullstream TV. My name is Riley Smith, and I'll be coming to you live all day as we have 6 games of qualifying, followed by the very exciting and always entertaining Eliminator Finals this afternoon. Good morning, Brandon Steen. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to the Steens. I have not seen Rush today. Haven't seen Rush for a while. Wonder what's going on in the Steen household. You guys are probably bowling or traveling to a bowling tournament, if I know correctly. You guys are always active. Karen Cole asking what lane Macy Jones is on. I'll keep an eye out and get back to you as soon as possible on that one. And Carlos Santeliz, good morning to you as well. Thanks for joining. Oh, Rush is here. Awesome. Cool. I'll keep an eye out for Rush, see what lane he is on, and I'll try to give you guys an idea of when Rush and Macy will join our live stream. I got to look around for a minute. But thanks again for joining. Thanks to our sponsors for making this possible. As always, we've got Storm Products, Dexter, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bullstream TV, H5G Brands, who is the title sponsor of today's event, Bull Dry Enterprises, Fast Track Physio, and Gail Volschel. So shout out to all of those awesome companies, and thank you for supporting us, and thank you for making this happen. Once again, I'm Riley Smith. Emil Williams Jr. is maybe tuning in from home right now. He's got dad duties today, but he's always very supportive, and we've been texting back and forth making sure everything's good with the live stream. So shout out to Emil. Thanks for everything that you've done and continue to do for the EYT. And in just a minute, I'll go through some of the format and always do some of that housekeeping introduction so we all know what's going on today. So today we've got 82 bowlers in Lakes Bowl at Round Lake, Illinois, when we are taking up all 24 lanes that are here in Round Lake. Really an awesome bowling center. I've been here just a couple of times, only to watch. I have not actually bowled here before, but I know they are extremely good with their bowlers, both league and tournament wise. Looks like we've got a couple of high schools that come here. Round Lake Panthers, it looks like. Grant Bulldogs. And I'm sure there's some others too. So awesome bowling center. 82 bowlers, and we have various divisions. As always, we've got our U12 division, boys and girls. In both of those divisions, we've got 5 bowlers in each. U15 is our second largest division. We've got boys and girls. 13 bowlers in U15 boys, 9 bowlers in U15 girls. Our largest division, U18. There's 33 bowlers in the U18 boys division, 11 bowlers in the U18 girls division. And I love to remind everybody that we do have U23 division, so if you are out there or know anybody out there that's in that U23 division, we welcome you guys to come on in. We have scholarship or cash available for your winnings in that U23 division. Everyone else is scholarship. If you take cash, then you forego any youth status and would become into the amateur or higher level bowling. So our U18 and younger will get scholarship today. U23 has a choice to get scholarship or cash. We've got 6 bowlers in that division today. Melissa Sauls, good morning to you as well. Melissa, if I'm not mistaken, Madison won her first EYT title in our last event. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. So today she'll be going for back-to-back. What a story that would be. Potentially grabbing her first win and potential back-to-back for her second win. That's something to watch for today. Looks like Macy Jones is bowling on 19 and 20. Yep, so 19 and 20 is where Macy Jones is at for Karen Cole. We might see her game 3 and potentially game 4. It could be, we could see her for 2 games. I'm thinking game 3 and or game 4. And I'm still getting eyes for Rush Steen. I haven't seen him yet. Rush is one of the tallest bowlers typically in our events, and he's not standing out for me right now. Maybe he's sitting down. I'll keep an eye out. So we do have live stream here on 7 and 8. There's Eason Taylor on lane 7. In front of us, Nehemiah Kiefer. Eason Taylor. Justin Caldwell on 8 there. And then you'll see some bowlers to the left and the right. I do have access to the pair to our left, which is 5 and 6. So I'll be able to toggle between the two of them. I'm getting fancy in my live streaming days. I'm always just a one pair, one scoreboard person. That's what I'm comfortable with. But today I decided to get a little bit outside my comfort zone and try to get 2 pairs. So stay tuned and bear with me as I work on those transitions throughout the day. Pierce Klein, Alexander Santalese on 7 and 8 in our U12 division. Pierce two-handed, and he's throwing a spare ball to try to reduce some of that hook. Alexander Santalese also a two-hander. The youth movement is absolutely towards the two-handed approach, and Alexander gets a 9. Tristan Wilms also on 7 and 8. Oh, good comeback there from Pierce. makes his spare. And our final bowler is David. David Middleman on lane 8 stepping up. He and Nehemiah Kiefer are toe-to-toe for the tallest U12 bowlers today. I don't know why I'm on the height train today. Talking about Rush and now Nehemiah and then David. There's Rush. Okay, we got eyes on Rush now. He is on, looks like he's on 17 and 18. Bowling with some of his buddies. I see Tyler Williams down there. Nicholas Sachs and some others. And look at that. Nehemiah Kiefer brings the 10-pin all the way back halfway down the lane into the left gutter. That's some power right there. 20.93 miles per hour according to our system. And we'll have one of the guys in the back come through and grab that pin. That pin popped out very aggressively and made its way down the center of the lane all the way about halfway down. All right, format for today is 6 games of qualifying. We are in game number 1. And then after 6 games, we have the eliminator finals. Keep an eye on bowl metrics for all of your score updates. I shared that link in the comments. It is pinned. Click on that link, and then you'll find the EYT May 2025. You can filter by division, and you can go by the cut line. And we will do our best to update everything as fast as possible after every game. As it stands right now, being in game 1, it's just the bowlers roster. So stay tuned and we'll update those scores for you. Again, bowl metrics link is in there. 6 games of qualifying and you'll see the cut line in bowl metrics. And then this afternoon, we will most likely stay live as we go through the cut lines and then get everybody ready for the eliminator finals. Usually starts around 2 p.m. Central Time. And I believe last but not least for my intro is the bowling pattern that we're on. And that is the 2024 USBC Queens pattern. So we have hosted by the USBC, the Queens. It's the women's tournament of equivalents of the Illinois, or excuse me, not Illinois, I just bowled that one, of the USBC Masters equivalent for the ladies. This tournament was held last year in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the USBC Queens. So we've got 40 feet in total distance. The total volume of oil is 30.35 milliliters. And then some of the ratios we've got on the left and right side, it is symmetrical. 2.33 to 1 ratio, making this a very challenging pattern for our bowlers today. That means that there's 2.33 loads of oil, a little bit more dense in the middle part of the lane than there is on the outside part of the lane. So if it's 1-to-1 ratio, that means the pattern is completely flat. The middle part and the outside part is the exact same volume. And then in your typical house shot, if it's a 17 or 20-to-1, 14-to-1, for example, then it is 14 or 20 extra loads on the inside part of the lane versus the outside. And that makes the patterns much easier and gives you more miss room with that. There's more friction on the right and left, and there's less friction in the middle, creating a funnel for your bowling ball to enter the pocket. Makes it easier. So in summary, we've got a challenging pattern today that the professional women's bowl on. And I'm excited to see how this works at Lakes Bowl. My beautiful wife, Megan Smith, bowled on this pattern a couple of times. And while watching her and others compete on it, she actually bowled in the Illinois, I said Illinois again. She bowled in the USBC Queens last year. And the best look for the girls on this pattern was a symmetrical solid. So phase 2, for example, in the Storm product line, a phase 2 is a symmetrical solid. Equipment like that was really good on the fresh, which is game number 1 here. It was something along the lines of third arrow, somewhere around there, maybe 13, 14, or 15 board at the arrows, and then keeping it right around that 9, 10, 11 for the break point at about 40 feet down lane. We saw some bowlers try to use asymmetric bowling balls. Asymmetric meaning the core is different on both sides. And the asymmetric bowling balls were a little bit over-under is what I would call it in bowling terms, over-under, meaning sometimes it would hook too much and sometimes it would not hook enough. And then bowlers come back with their hands, you know, on their head or on their waist, looking confused and thinking, why is that the exact same shot, it hooked, exact same shot next frame, and it does not hook. And it just seemed like the asymmetric bowling balls were rolling too soon and not consistent enough through the front part of the lanes. Definitely would recommend our bowlers to consider symmetrical equipment, hopefully a symmetrical solid, and then transition to symmetrical hybrids or pearls as the lanes break down and transition occurs. What we're seeing right now in front of us is the U12 and a blend of U15 bowlers. And a common trend for our youth bowlers is the urethane bowling ball. I see a lot of urethane going down the lane right now. It's probably 50-50 with urethane and reactive. Eason Taylor throwing reactive right now. And he's further deep left with his feet and through the arrows. Might have been a missed left, and he's got the 310 remaining. All right, so how about recap? 82 bowlers. Lakes Bowl, the 2025 EYT Leave Your Mark H5G Open, presented by H5G. USBC Queens pattern from 2024. Use bowl metrics to get all your scores. And I am Riley Smith, broadcasting live on the Elite Stream, courtesy of Bowlstream TV and all of our sponsors: Storm Products, H5G Brands, Dexter, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bowlstream TV, Fast Track Physio, Bowl Dry Enterprises, and Gail Volschel. Thanks for joining, and drop any other things in the comments, any other topics, discussions, questions, or bowlers that you're looking for. I can pan left and right. I can keep you updated on some of the scores that I see. I'm here to help you, so let me know what I can do. I kept mentioning the Illinois Masters and Illinois Queens. That was on my mind as those tournaments were held 1 week ago at Strike and Spare 2 in Lockport, Illinois. That is where we like to go for many of our EYT events. On the men's side for the Illinois Masters, excuse me, it was Benji Martinez coming away with the win. Congratulations to Benji, fellow Storm Product staffer. And also Storm Products staffer Cassidy Corey came away with the Illinois Queens victory. Cassidy, coach at Mount Mercy University. Very talented squad out there in Mount Mercy. Benji, KR Strikeforce employee and a PBA bowler. Congrats to both of you, and shout out to the Illinois Queens, Illinois Masters, a great tournament that Jennifer Maurerman runs. She does a great job. Next year, in 1 year, it's on that same weekend for any adult bowlers that are interested. At Strike and Spare 2, the Illinois Masters, Illinois Queens, April 25th and April 26th. For those of you interested, great tournament that's around the Chicagoland area. Good opportunity to bowl on the 2025 Masters and Queens patterns. A good opportunity to make money. And the winners will get a free entry into the following year's Queens and Masters tournament. So a lot up for grabs. Just wanted to take a moment and give them a shout out. That's been on my mind. All right, 8 frames in, game number 1. And Pierce covers up his 7-pin nicely. David stepping up quickly on lane 7. Looks like his left slide foot is slipperier than normal for David. Looks like the lanes here offer a lot of early and mid lane hook. I've not bowled here before, but it definitely looks like before the arrows and then a little bit after the arrows, maybe 30 feet down lane. So I would say 10 feet and then again at 30 feet, we're seeing the ball hook. And that'll be interesting to see how these bowlers combat that early hook. Just to the left of us was JT Grothus, and I'll actually test our transition right now as JT is going for a 257. And as I mentioned, interesting to see how these bowlers will combat the early hook, and JT is doing that by lofting it past that 10 feet mark. Not to the arrows, but just about 5 feet in front of him. He's lofting it, and that's definitely taking away that early hook that a lot of our bowlers are seeing right now. That's a good way to, I'll say, blend out the lane in bowling terms. And actually, just to the right there, Nehemiah Kiefer with a great shot. Lofted it about 5 feet as well. So there's a little bit of loft, and peels back, wraps the 10-pin for JT. And with a spare for JT, that would give him 246, and one of the highest games that I've seen to my left and to my right. We got a 236, 220, 215, to name a few. All right, 245 for JT, a really good game. And we'll bring it back in front of us. Eason Taylor, 9th frame. Ooh, almost came back. That one was right of target. And that's the reaction that you could get on this pattern. As it opens up and more balls go down the lane, it breaks down the pattern a little bit. And for Eason, that ball almost made it back. Maybe in a couple more frames, it could find its way back to the pocket. And that is because the bowling balls, every time they go down the lane, they create some friction. They remove oil from the lane. That is reactive. Two-pin spare for Eason. And we are now entering the 10th frame. We are probably a frame behind pace right now on 7 and 8. Every lane except a few has 7. The others have 6. Great shot in the 9th. Alexander. Santalese leaves the 310. The baby split. Pierce, really good form from Pierce at a young age, U12 division. Good balance, good form, and great spare. Alexander, baby split, did it perfectly. That is not an easy spare, guys, but a great spare. Let's see if Pierce can do the same for his 3-pin. Oh, just a little right. Still plenty of time for Pierce. He'll enter game number 2 just to the right of us. Just game number 1. Plenty of games to bring back and keep fighting towards that cut line. Oh, there's David. Trips the 4-pin. All right, let's see if Nehemiah Kiefer can throw a double here. He struck in the 9th frame. As I was talking about the early hook that we're seeing, he switched bowling balls and gave a little bit of loft, and it looked really good on lane 7. Let's see if we can replicate it and get a good reaction on lane number 8. A little bit right of target. Similar shot, but just right of target on lane 8. And that's why we've got the 210 standing. Again, not an easy pattern, folks. This is a 2.3 to 1 ratio. Very little miss room for our bowlers today just to hit the pocket. Very little miss room. .146 for Nehemiah, the Pepsi champion in the U12 division this year. Nehemiah just keeps on winning so many EYT titles already in the U12 division, and a lot of titles that I couldn't name off in other events as well, like the Pepsi tournament. All right, Eason will close us up on lane 7. First ball in his 10th frame. Great shot. Really good shot for Eason and a good sign for him as well. Missing right, leaving a 2-pin, and then throwing a good shot there and getting the 10-pin to snap out of there. The 6-pin was able to clip the 10-pin just strong enough and result in a strike. That's a good sign for Eason Taylor. Oh yeah, good shot again. Double for Eason. All right, good finish. Eason Taylor, 190. There's my beautiful wife saying hello to the team and missing everybody. Well, I miss you too. One of the first events that Megan's had to miss. Usually it's for a vacation. All right, that concludes game number 1. Keep an eye on Bull Metrics for our updated scores. We've got Jawan and Steven running around for the scores. As I mentioned before, we've got 82 bowlers. U12 has 5 bowlers in each. And our biggest division, U18 boys, per usual, it's 33 total bowlers. And as we get the scores entered, we'll be able to take a filter on the cut lines, and I'll let you know exactly who or how many bowlers we are taking. But right now we need to get scores in before we can see that information. And we'll welcome in a new set of bowlers for game number 2. Coming in on 7 and 8, Brett Biondo. Brett's got a new haircut today. He got it buzzed off. Luke Switalski on lane number 8. And it looks like the others are still waiting to come over. Biondo trying the urethane look as well. Switalski, two-handed righty. Is that urethane? You can't tell right now. Yeah, Luke is also throwing urethane. Starts with a strike. Looks like we'll also have Zach Benz on this pair. Zach is wearing a jersey that's all donuts all over it. Seth Sider coming up, lane number 8. Noah also got a haircut. This is the haircut pair. Noah Waters on lane 7. Powerful strike.
All right, let's go.
Seth starting off strong.
Get in there, Aiden. Woo! Let's go.
All right, another strike. So we are off and running. Couple strikes, couple spares. If you haven't already, making your way to this Facebook page to watch the awesome bowlers today, go ahead and give this a share. Let all your other friends watch some of the best bowlers in the country and in the world. For example, Luke Swatowski, 10-pin. Luke bowls all over the U.S. And honestly, there's not really a weekend that goes by where Luke is not bowling. I was talking to his dad, Phil, and found he's looking for a tournament in the next couple of weeks. Might be going up to Wisconsin for a tournament. So Luke always trying to bowl. Sometimes it's a PBA regional for Luke. Mentioned earlier that the Mount Mercy men have a really talented team, and Luke will be adding to that talent as well. Yeah, back in November of last year, he committed to Mount Mercy, and he'll be bowling there this fall, 2025, after his senior year of high school. He'll be going to Mount Mercy, and that is a really strong team, man. That's going to be a powerhouse. So good luck to Luke heading out to Mount Mercy in the fall. Our final bowler on 7 and 8, Isai Reyes. And we've got some numbers in our bowl metric system. So starting with the U12 girls, we're taking the top 3. Out of the 5 bowlers competing, we've got Ava Flanningham, 156, Shayla Harvey, 147, and Maggie Russell with 126 is the cut line in the U12 girls. U12 boys after 1, Nehemiah Kiefer leading the way with a 146, Alexander Santalese with a 140, and David Middleman with 121. U15 division for the boys. Sebi Vetter is the cut line with a 179. In 5th, Justin Caldwell. 4th, Eason Taylor. 3rd, Alexander Eby. 2nd, Josh Eby. And no relation, if I'm not mistaken, of those two. And in 1st place, JT Grothis, who we saw, 245. Girls division, U15. Leah Basevic at the cut line with a 162. Cameron Mills, 183 in 3rd. 2nd place, Abigail Kowalski, 187. And leading the way, Jessica Pivas, 208. Boys division for U18, that's the 33 bowler division. Starting in 1st, Luke Switalski, 236. Anthony Swanson in 2nd, 226. 3rd place, Joshua Sachs, 222. Isai Reyes, 220 in 4th. Brett Biondo behind him in 5th with a 215. 212 for Tyler Williams. Cameron Alberts, 199, and the cut line, 197, Cody Knoll. U18 girls division, we're taking the top 6. 1st place, Ashlyn Tevis, 230. Lillian Smith, 214. Skylar Petts, 209. Layla Jaco, 188. Jacqueline Knowles, 184. And the cut line, Bella Santalese, 182. U23 division, taking 2 of the 6 bowlers. And 1st place, Chloe Saziga, 221. 2nd, Joseph Naperkowski, 211. And matter of fact, tied at 211 is Philip Huser. And there you have it. That is the bowl metric standings. Luke looking to get back on track after 2 opens in the 2nd and 3rd. Starts our 5th frame off with a strike. Brett Biondo looking to connect on his first strike on the left lane. And comes up high, fortunate to just leave the 4-pin. So there might be a difference here of 7 and 8. We'll have to keep an eye out for that and what that difference could be, as Brett's gone strike twice on the right lane and 3 9 counts on the left. That happens a lot in bowling, is the left lane and the right lane on your same pair play differently. All right, 4-pin spare for Biondo. Eastside with the big double. Slow start, but middle part of the game here. 2 strikes in a row. And that is key here on 7 and 8. Definitely with these bowlers coming through, U15, U18 bowlers, they know what they're doing. And it seems like it's tough to get a double on 7 and 8. Of course, the conditions are not favorable. They're challenging. But there could be a difference here on how these lanes are playing. So Brett over on lane 8 to, I'll say, his good lane. And I'll actually have to get a better look at Brett's ball. It might be the level, the storm level, which is actually a reactive. Built to roll like a urethane. And just got confirmation. We'll have as many match eliminator final matches in front of us as possible. I've got a little bit of 3 and 4 on the second camera. I've got all of 5 and 6, all of 7 and 8, and then a little bit of 9 and 10 on this camera. So we'll keep those pairs filled in the eliminator finals, and I'll be able to toggle back and forth. I'm excited about it, guys. First time setting up a second camera for me. Still have some learning to do, but I feel excited. I feel good about it. Wash out, Seth. Oh, good attempt at it. That's right where you want it, the 1-2, and get that 1 pin over to the 10 pin. Difficult spare. Now to Luke Sotalski. Spare, strike, spare. And he struck last time on this pair, on this lane. Comes around the corner and mixes them up. Eastside going for a turkey. Oh, gets away with one. Left of target, comes across the head pin, and that is a Brooklyn strike. And Reyes there feeling a little, something was off with his physical game. From the looks of it, his right shoulder closed early, and I'll say it trapped the bowling ball. So if that right shoulder over rotates and comes across your body, then you will miss left. It's basically shutting off anything going to the right as a righty if that right shoulder does not stay back. So he was doing some motions where he wants to keep that right shoulder calm and relaxed and keep it back to allow for the ball to project right off his hand. That looks like urethane. I wasn't sure if that was a level or urethane, but definitely from that reaction, lays off in the back end. Looks like urethane to me. All right, back to Reyes, looking to correct the mistake he made previous frame. And that one hooked. That hooked a lot. Good. I thought it was a good shot, but that was pretty aggressive off the back end of the pattern. Leaves the 3-6. Best guess here, or advice that I would give Reyes, is to consider switching to a little bit weaker bowling ball. He's got an asymmetric ball, solid with some surface on it. And based on that reaction, it's hooking. And a good spare. All right, Noah, let's get back on track. After this game, we'll go through some exciting Elite Youth Tour news. If you guys are on our email list, you should have gotten an email April 30th from the Elite Youth Tour and shares some really exciting news that's going around. So stick around for that. I'll do that in game number 3. All right, Brett, good shot. Clean through 8 frames. Oh, interesting way to make that one. Good spare. For Zach Benz. Oh, good break for Noah. We had the 2, 4, 10 standing. Then it was the 4, 10. Unfortunately, just the 10 is remaining. So makeable spare here. And a good break, capitalize, and let's make the spare. Oh, that was a really good looking shot from Luke, and a 4-9 is standing in front of him. That one found a hook spot on lane 7. So unlucky break now to make the 4-9, left side of the 4-pin. And misses right on that one. 4-9s are difficult. I see a lot of people make 4-9s, but I have trouble making those. I have to keep an eye on how people make it. the angles that they take. There's a science to it. Physics. Seth Sider was just outside the cut after game number 1, working on a strike, and six pin also went a little bit high. So I'm curious if lane 7 is hooking a little bit more. There's definitely a difference, and it might be that lane 7 has a little bit more back end. All right, follow-up shot after the 4-9 for Luke. And that one does not come back. So from a 4-9 to a 2-4-5. All right, next shot. I'm going to pan over to the left lane, 5 and 6. We've got Josh Sachs with 5 consecutive strikes. Oh yeah, another, I mean, that was a really good shot from Isai. It was really right where he wanted it to be, and that ball is reacting just too much in the back end. Too much in the middle part of the lane, rather, and it's nose diving in the back end. Definitely recommend a ball change for Isai. Good physical game from Isai. A lot of revs on it. Good ball speed, good rev rate. Solid at the line. Good, really good physical form from Isai Reyes. And good spare from Seth. I'll pan over here to our lanes 5 and 6. There is Lucas Drisdell. Connects on a strike. Allison on lane 5. I believe Allison was in the cut line after game 1. And in the bottom right-hand corner, I'll pan back, actually. We've got Brett Biondo, who's bowling a solid game here. Frame number 9, the foundation frame. Could set himself up for a big 10th frame. Some bonus pins here with a strike, which would give him a double. Again, just like the last time on lane 7, the ball not making it back to the head pin. Leia Basevic on lane number 5. Leia is always within the cut line, either in or really close to the cut line. She's come away with a couple of EYT victories, and she is actually wearing one of our EYT Champions jerseys today, courtesy of H5G brands. Sharp looking jerseys. Looks like Leia has purple and teal. It's a really good color combination. I would not come up with that. I have no color combination fashion whatsoever. I would not have thought those two colors could go together, but they do. There's Madison Sauls. And to the right of our screen, Brett Biondo, wrap 10 pin in the first ball of his 10th frame. Lucas Drisdell comes away with a double. Here's Biondo shooting the 10 pin. And Madison Sauls to the left of our screen on lane 6 looking for her spare. Let's see if Brett tries anything different here. He's got a fill ball and he's walking back here. Probably try a different ball just to see what else is available. Both a really good game, but the score does not show for it. 184 is Brett's max score with the strike. Autumn Strode to the left of our screen strikes. That was her 7th frame. Oh, good spare. Noah Waters with the washout plus the 6 pin. Great spare. All right, here is Joshua Sachs, lane 6. Lofting urethane. And what a look that is. Make it 7 consecutive strikes for Joshua Sachs. What a great start to this game number 2. All right, turn it back over here again. 7 and 8. We are in our 10th frame, and then I'll move back over to 5 and 6. Good comeback shot. Noah Waters strikes in his first ball. Looks like Switalski's making a move here in the 10th frame. After going 4-9, he is switching bowling balls and moving left. And what a good change that was. Bowling is a bunch of guesses, and that was a good guess from Luke Switalski. Kaylee tuning in, asking how Tyler Williams is doing. Tyler in game number 1 fired .212, and Tyler is in 6th place within the cut line. We're taking 8 in his division, so his .212 is good enough for 6th, and the 8th place bowler had 193. He's up on the cut by 15 pins, and Tyler Williams will be I believe on 3 and 4 next, if I had to guess. I think he finished his second game on the high end, is making the turn towards our low end. So Kaylee, stick around. It's not too long until Tyler will be on our live stream. Also, not too much longer until Macy Jones joins us on live stream. Chloe Saziga, Joseph Naprokowski, Abigail Starkey. All right, moving over to 5 and 6, Madison Sauls on lane 6, and our hot bowler for 7 consecutive strikes. He's on fire, Joshua Sachs. Ninth frame for Josh, 7 consecutive, and make that 8. Locked in is Josh Sachs.
Chair back. You need your chair back.
Not right now. Just keep using it. Yeah.
Autumn Strode, Turkey. That is her 9th frame. Really good shot there. Back to 5 and 6, we've got Josh Sachs coming in into the 10th frame. Score, I edited the scores a little bit, so we'll be able to see now Josh's scoreboard. First of the 10th, misses left. And goes Brooklyn for a strike. How about that? The strikes are rolling for Josh. He is using everything he's got. That is 9 consecutive strikes. 2-pin fell down. We'll reset that lane. I don't know what he left in the first. It was a 9 spare. But had that 9 count fallen, we could be watching a 300 game. His max score now is 290. Absolutely the highest score that we have so far. Josh Sachs, second ball in his 10th frame. That one looked much better, but not quite on high enough on the head pin, leaves the 2-8. So a spare gives him 278 and a really good second game for Josh Sachs. Joseph Naprikowski coming on the live stream next.
You're on the live stream now.
Oh, yeah. So excited to shoot one for
All right, good game for Joshua Sachs. 278 and move it back here to our featured pair, 7 and 8. Nathan Nosko leaves the 2-pin. Joseph Naprikowski. Adrian Munoz, Tyler Sider. That is 4 of the 6.
How was the Masters?
Illinois Masters?
Yeah, the Illinois Masters.
It was good. I took third place. Lost to Benji, who ended up winning the whole thing. But
Yeah.
it was good, man. It was fun. Yeah, a lot of bowling.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And then the final two, Chloe Cezega and Philip Huser on 7 and 8.
It's my son-in-law.
I know, that's the reason he's scared. You don't want to be in? You don't want to be taught? You don't want to be talking to us? I would be curious about your commentary. God, that
It
sucks.
wouldn't be possible.
That's what I mean. God, that sucks. Go over there next time.
Chloe starts off with a strike. Next up, Philip. As mentioned, Adrian Munoz, Nathan Nosko, Joseph Naprikowski, and Tyler Sider on our featured pair, 7 and 8. And in just a moment, I'll take a look at scores in bowl metrics. We are live at Lakes Bowl in Round Lake, Illinois. This is the EYT Leave Your Mark H5G Open, presented by H5G Brands. And as always, to all of our sponsors, thanks for making this possible. Storm Products, Dexter, H5G Brands, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, Bullstream TV, Fast Track Physio, Bowl Dry Enterprises, and Gail Volschel. And thanks to the team here at Lakes Bowl for having us. First time the EYT has stopped here, 24 lanes in Round Lake, Illinois, 82 bowlers. And for me, the closest drive that we've got as I come in from southeast Wisconsin. And it is confirmed Macy Jones and Tyler Williams are on 3 and 4, so they will move over to 7 and 8 in their next game. So we'll see them in game number 4 on the featured pair. Game number 3, we're bowling 6. And some of the scores are updated. U12 boys division, it's Alexander Santalese leading the way, followed by Nehemiah Kiefer. Third place, Tristan Wilms, and that is the cut line. Just 5 pins away in that division, U12 boys, is David Middleman, 5 pins away from the cut. In our girls U12 division, leading the way is Ava Flanningham. Second, Shayla Harvey, and the cut, Maggie Russell. U15 boys, a tie for our cut between Jason Eby and Lucas Herrada. In the cut line, 5th place, Eason Taylor. Then there's Alexander Eby. Justin Caldwell in 3rd. Sebi Vetter moves up to 2nd, and JT Grothis keeps his 1st place position. U15 girls, leading the way is Autumn Strode after she shot a good 200 game. 2nd place, Jessica Pivas. 3rd, Abigail Kowalski. And in 4th, Leia Basevic. As the cut line, 5 pins away is Cameron Mills. U18 boys, Joshua Sachs, as we saw with that 278, takes the lead in the U18 boys division. In 2nd place, Anthony Swanson. In 3rd place, Tyler Williams. Tied for 4th is Rush Steen and Scott Wolf. 6th place, Luke Swatolski. 7th, Brett Biondo. And the cut line is Cody Knoll. 7 pins and 8 pins behind is Noah Waters, Nathan Cantrell, and Nicholas Sachs. In our U18 girls division, leading the way is Ashlyn Tevis. Strong start, averaging 248. Lillian Smith in 2nd, Skylar Petz in 3rd, followed by Layla Jaco, Sarah Dowdy, and Abigail Starkey. Macy Jones is outside the cut right now by 19 pins in 7th place. U23 division, these are the bowlers in front of us. Since we have all those bowlers, I'll list all of our names. In first, Joseph Naperkowski, and he is on lane 7 in the green and yellow jersey. Chloe Cezega is in 2nd. In 3rd is Adrian Munoz. 4th, Nathan Nosko, who we just saw. In 5th is Philip Huser. And 6th is Tyler Sider. Thanks again for joining. I'm Riley Smith. This is a production of the Elite Stream presented by Bullstream TV. Shout out to Emil Williams Jr. for everything he's done for this EYT stream. As I promised in Game 3, which we are currently in, we've got some cool EYT news. For those of you interested that are not signed up for this, there is an Elite Youth Tour newsletter that goes out just a few days before we have every event. So this email was sent out April 30th. If you're interested, drop a comment, send us a message here on Facebook, and we can add your email to this fun newsletter. So as mentioned, today is the Leave Your Mark H5G Open, presented by H5G Brands. They are the title sponsor today, so shout out to H5G and everyone up in Wisconsin where their headquarters are. They've been a longtime supporter of the EYT, and we love to have that support and ongoing partnership with H5G. Great people and a great family that runs that organization. If you guys are interested, we do have sponsorship available for naming rights to our events. As I mentioned, today is the H5G Open. And anyone that might be interested, we could name an event after your company, your business, foundation. You can also go onto the H5G website and find EYT merch there. Can order online, or if you're here in person, we have a merchandise table as well. A lot of interesting things available: jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, hats, and other accessories as well. We do a EYT Impact every event. Today, the social change on the lanes is in support of New Moms, an organization that partners with young families to support economic mobility and strengthen family well-being. New Moms, strong families, bright futures. The social impact is extremely important to us here at the EYT. Not only are we molding and helping create some of the best bowlers on the lanes, we are supporting their futures off the lanes as well, trying to create well-rounded individuals through community service and supporting and helping the community around us. New Moms has been around for over 40 years. And this is for moms 24 years or younger to help build confidence, to provide housing, job training, college success, and family support for young moms and their children. Just a wonderful organization with a really good reason of existence here. And we're happy to support them. It's also Chicago-based, as is the EYT. The last event that we held was the Youth Adult Championships. And if you guys weren't able to tune in, our champions were John and Jersey Asbetti, JT Grothus and Donovan Lake, Madison Sauls and Bailey, Macy Jones and Rich. That is Rich Blake, Rory Clark, and Mats Thunberg for the Youth Adult Championships. We awarded over $6,320 in scholarships in one event, folks. That is fantastic and really exciting to be a part of scholarships for these bowlers' futures and the colleges that they attend. Grand total in scholarships for the EYT's history is at $416,000. And a reminder, our next event is June 28th at Arlington Lanes. June 28th, Arlington Lanes. Anyone out there that has interest, let us know. We'll be happy to sign you up. All right, so there's some of the details I wanted to take you through. Some exciting stuff going on. And as always, we've got exciting stuff going on the lanes. Joseph Napierkowski, 4 strikes in a row, starting game number 3. Nathan Nalsko, 4 spares in a row. Adrian Munoz currently in 3rd place and is the cut line. Big strike there in the 5th frame. Chloe Cezega, 2nd place in the cut line for U23. Chloe bowled the Illinois Queens last weekend that I was talking about, where Chloe finished in 3rd place. at Strike and Spare 2. And ironically enough, it was the exact same pattern that we're bowling on today. The 2024 Queens pattern, USBC Queens. I'll see if I can catch up with her after this game and get some of her thoughts on how the lanes are playing. It's the same pattern, but a different bowling center. So lane surface definitely plays and causes some different ball reactions. So we'll see what her thoughts are on bowling the same pattern in a different center. Oh, excellent. Katie returning to the EYT and bowling at the Arlington Lanes event. That's awesome to hear. And Katie, I'm curious, I have 2 questions for you. Maybe comment back for me. First question is, I believe this is your first EYT back since going to college. If you can help answer that question for me. I can't remember if we've had you since you went off to college or not. So that's my first question. And second one for you, Katie, is I believe you qualified for nationals in our intercollegiate singles championship. And that was held out in Las Vegas. I'm curious, Katie, how did that go for you? I didn't have a chance to see the full standings, but just curious how that went, which is a great accomplishment to qualify for singles. So the first answer is yes. Awesome, Katie. This is your first, it will be your first event back at the EYT. We're excited to have you. And Katie has the follow-up question. So Katie, yep, she qualified out of Addison, Illinois at Stardust Bowl for the singles championship in college. Made it to Las Vegas, and she says bowled well and made it to the match before TV. So big congratulations to you, Katie. That's an awesome run, an awesome showing on the single side. The match before TV, I believe, is a tie for 5th place. How about that? In the top 5 in college bowling. Awesome. Congratulations to you, and looking forward to having you back next month at Arlington Lanes, June 28th. Joseph Naperkowski, 4 strikes in a row, leaves the 2-8 in his 5th frame. And a good spare, covers it. Oh, bad break for Joseph. Leaves the 8-pin in the pocket. The only silver lining, glass half full perspective, is that that 8-pin happened on a spare. So you lose 11 pins, whereas if it was on a double, you'd lose, I think it's 21 pins. So still don't want it to be seen and never want a stone 8-pin, but not the worst place for it to happen. I suppose the best place for a stone 8-pin would be in the fill ball, definitely, unless you've got a 300 going. But the fill ball, because it's got 1 pin difference, that's when you want to leave a stone 8. I hope I didn't speak a jinx into existence now. Someone that I know, maybe today at the EYT, is going to leave a stone 8-pin on a 300 shot. I hope that doesn't happen. But it's the announcer's jinx, so it's bound to happen. Raffle tickets are being sold now. Raffle tickets are available for winning a Storm bowling ball of their choice. And also Dexter is providing a pair of shoes to a winner as well. I mean, one of the best raffles that I see. You could win a bowling ball, and I guess you could win both if you're very lucky. So enter for your chance to win the bowling ball or a pair of shoes, along with a lot of other things. Deandra keeps going on, and we'll give away, keeps drawing tickets, I mean. We'll give away t-shirts, we'll give away merchandise, and some turbo prizes as well. So if you're close by, come on in and grab yourself a raffle ticket, chance to win. It's also online. We're taking payments online. Good spare from Nathan. That's a tough one. 1, 2, 8 taken care of. Sazega, 4, 7 spare. Philip Huser, 2 strikes in a row. Looks like he ball changed. Oh, just enough. A weaker bowling ball he went to, and it's holding that line there, not giving it away from the pocket, keeping it pretty tight. That's a big turkey for Philip on the outside of the cut line looking in. Connect on a few more strikes, and he'll be right back in action after 3 games. Interesting. I like how it's formatted here. We've got all U23 bowlers on the same pair. So they know exactly where they sit in the standings, and they know exactly what their opponents are doing compared to their scores. Makes for some nerve-wracking shots throughout qualifying, I'm sure. Maybe put some pressure on the opponent. So interesting. Not always like that. I suppose it's always like that for the EYT, but it's not always like that in general tournaments where the bowlers that are in front of you and behind you are on the exact same pair. Three 10 pins, lane 6, 7, and 8. Nosko first to go at it. Great spare. Gets a little bounce on it. Not as big of a bounce as Nehemiah Kiefer had halfway down the lane. Sarah Dowdy, second one. Good spare. And Joseph Naperkowski, third one. There it is, folks. That's the name of the game. Spares, especially on tough conditions. Good work from Sarah, Joseph, and Nathan. Good messenger, Adrian. And mark it 4 strikes in a row. Messenger across the deck takes out the 10 pin. Just to the right of us, we saw Lucas Drisdell connect on a strike. That's 7 consecutive to start his game. So it definitely seems like lane 7 is hooking a little bit more than lane 8. And that should get more and more apparent as more shots are thrown on it. Naperkowski. And that seemed like it was left of target. May have got into the lane a little bit too soon. Instead of, yep, that's what his motion was. Instead of letting it glide off his hand, his right side of the body and his right shoulder shut down early and prevented the ball from getting to the right side of the lane. And Phillip almost trips the 2-pin. Got that one right, wide right. I'm curious that one may have struck if it was on lane 7. But lane 8, a little bit wide right, leaves the 2-pin. So 3 strikes in a row comes to an end for Phillip. And an important spare now. Macy Jones had a pretty wild messenger that took out the 10-pin a little bit late. Had to turn around and ask the front desk for a score correction as that turns into a double for Macy. One more strike for her in the 10th would give her 203. And she's on lane 4. She'll be moving to lane 7 and 8 in this next game. And she gets 9, so 202 for Macy Jones. Nathan Nosko, he is sparing right now. Can't connect on a strike quite yet. Good spare as well. 9 frames in a row. Comes away with a spare. Good shot from Phillip there. That was one of the best ones of the game. Off the hand, looked like a no-doubter, and sure was. 10 straight back. That's one that you put back in the archives. Grab it from the live stream here and save that shot. That was a good one from Phillip. Ball change from Naperkowski leads to a strike in the 8th. Move to an asymmetric ball, the Origin by 900 Global. Nathan Nosko, let's get a strike here. 9 consecutive frames, sparing it. He made all sorts of different combinations. How about a strike now? Wide of target leaves the 1-2-4. Lucas Drisdale had 7 consecutive strikes to start the game, went 9 spare in the 8th. So he still has a chance for a 279, but the 300 watch is over. 9 really good shots in a row for Lucas. Nosko 1-2-4, tough spare. And throws straight at it. Good spare again. So how about that? We don't see this hardly at all. I don't know what kind of game I should call this. It's the spare game from Nathan Nosko. 10 consecutive spares. Wow. Anyone out there listening in to this EYT? Do you guys have any idea what all spares would be called in a game of bowling? Obviously, it's a clean game. There's no opens. That's a clean game. You know, all strikes in one game is a perfect game. It's a 300 game. Honor score. Well, what would we call all spares other than a clean game? And it's an 8-pin that prevents the final strike from going down for Nathan. And I gotta say, that's I don't recall